My neighbor said, cutting grass isn't a career. When are you gonna get a real job like normal people? The comment came while I was loading my truck after finishing Mrs. Patterson's yard. My neighbor Carl was washing his Mercedes in his driveway, wearing his realtor polo shirt like it was a badge of honor. Still playing landscaper, huh, Kevin? When are you gonna get a real job like normal people? Carl loved reminding everyone that he sold luxury homes and drove expensive cars. He'd make comments about my work truck being an eyesore in the neighborhood, or joke about how I was lowering property values by running a lawn care business from my garage. You're 29 years old pushing a lawnmower, he continued, not bothering to look up from his car. My teenage son makes almost as much working part-time at the country club. What Carl didn't know was that my landscaping business had evolved far beyond cutting grass. For 3 years, I'd been quietly building Green Valley Landscaping into a full-service operation. We designed and installed outdoor living spaces, irrigation systems, and commercial property maintenance contracts. I had 15 employees, 8 trucks, and we were handling accounts worth $180,000 a year in recurring revenue. The residential design work alone was bringing in $25,000 per project, and we had a 6-month waiting list. But I still lived in the same modest house, drove my original work truck, and did hands-on work because I loved the craft. Carl saw the dirty clothes and grass stains and assumed I was barely scraping by. Look at this neighborhood, Carl said, gesturing around our street. Everyone else has professional careers. You're the only one who comes home looking like you've been digging in the dirt all day. Last month, the Hendersons, 2 houses down, started a major backyard renovation. Carl had been trying to get their real estate listing for months, constantly dropping hints about selling their house for maximum value after the improvements. Mrs. Henderson mentioned they were looking for a landscaper to design their new outdoor space. Carl immediately jumped in with recommendations for expensive firms from downtown, companies that charged premium rates for their reputation. You need someone sophisticated for a project this scale, Carl told them. This is a $75,000 renovation. You can't trust it to some neighborhood lawn guy. The Hendersons called me anyway. They'd seen my work around the neighborhood and liked my attention to detail. When they described their vision, I knew exactly how to bring it to life. 2 weeks later, I submitted my proposal. Complete outdoor kitchen, custom stone patio, water feature, fire pit area, professional lighting system, and drought-resistant landscaping design. Total project cost $89,000. Carl was outside when the Hendersons called to accept my proposal. He walked over while I was shaking hands with Mr. Henderson. What's going on here? Carl asked. Kevin's designing our new backyard, Mrs. Henderson said excitedly. His proposal was incredible. So much more creative than those other companies. Carl's smile faltered. Kevin? But I thought you were getting quotes from professional firms. We did, Mr. Henderson said. Kevin's company had the best design and the most reasonable pricing for the quality of work. Carl looked confused. Kevin's company? I handed him one of my business cards. Green Valley Landscaping. We specialize in luxury outdoor living spaces. Carl stared at the card like it was written in a foreign language. You have business cards? And a website, full insurance, licensed contractors, the works, I said. We're actually one of the top landscape design firms in the region. Mrs. Henderson pulled out her phone. Look at their portfolio, Carl. They did the Morrison Estate and that beautiful commercial plaza downtown. Carl was scrolling through photos of million-dollar properties we designed. This is your work? 5 years building the business, I said. We handle everything from residential design to commercial maintenance contracts. Mr. Henderson chimed in. Kevin's team maintains the office complex where I work. They do incredible work. Carl's face went pale. How much does a project like this cost? This one's $89,000, Mrs. Henderson said. But Kevin says it'll increase our property value by at least $150,000. Carl nearly dropped his phone. $89,000? For landscaping? For complete outdoor transformation, I corrected. Custom stonework, professional irrigation, architectural lighting. It's essentially building an outdoor room. The next morning, Carl knocked on my door. He looked embarrassed, shifting his weight from foot to foot. Kevin, I owe you an apology. I had no idea your business was so successful. I was loading tools into my truck for another job site. Most people don't realize how much the industry has evolved. Modern landscaping is architecture, engineering, and art combined. Carl looked at my truck with new understanding. So when you said you were in landscaping, I meant I own a landscaping company that does high-end commercial and residential design work. The lawn cutting is just one small part of what we do. He was quiet for a moment. How much do you make from all this? Enough to buy 3 houses like yours, I said, starting my truck. But I like this neighborhood. Good people here. As I drove away, I saw Carl in my rearview mirror, staring at his Mercedes like he was seeing it differently.